Niña Mabatid. Join me as we learn and unlearn things and make new discoveries. This is AnDiscoveries. Cebu City's North District has been represented by members of one political family, and they even plan to extend their term to the 19th Congress with the candidacy of Rachel Cutie Dalmar. However, two popular figures are attempting to break that 35-year reign, and for today's episode, we are going to discover what they have to offer for Cebu City's North District. 5 aspirants are vying for the congressional seat in Cebu City's North District. And for this episode, we invited 3 candidates with current and former alliances with the city's famous local parties, Partido Barug and BOPK. Cutie Dalmar did not respond to any of the invitations sent, but Niña Mabatid and Richard Yap welcomed our request. 54-year-old Richard Edison Yap from the National Unity Party completed his elementary and high school education at the Sacred Heart School, now known as Ateneo de Cebu. He first took a course in medical technology at Vélez College for 2.5 years, but shifted to Bachelor of Science in Business Management, which he completed at the De La Salle University. He started out as a working student at the Manila Stock Exchange, then worked his way up since college from warehouse supervisor and production manager to assistant manager, then to sales and division manager in a furniture company. He worked as marketing manager for a multinational company called Xiamen International Chemical Company based in Xiamen, China, and later on worked for former Ambassador Benedicto Huipico as executive assistant for the Confederation of Asia-Pacific Chambers of Commerce. In 2011, he shifted his career towards the entertainment field as an actor, singer, and endorser, where he became famously known for his characters Sir Chief and Papa Chen. He is currently the president of Coal and Ash International Systems Corporation, director of Wang Fu Cafe chain of restaurants, and director of the Training Center for Skills and Development Incorporated. 45-year-old Prisca Niña Mabatid of Partido Barug recently took a diploma or certificate course on public value from Harvard University. She first rose to fame as an entrepreneur after she founded her own companies, namely Pinoy Care Visa Center Incorporated and Amax Philippines International Promotion Incorporated, which she leads as president and CEO. She and her businesses received multiple awards since 2010 to 2018. Her political career started when she was elected as barangay captain of Barangay Mabolo in 2018, which she was unable to continue, as she rose to Cebu City Councilor in 2019 until present, where she chairs the Committee on Labor, Environment, Cooperative, and Livelihood Monitoring Board, Committee on Women and Family Affairs, and the Committee on Tourism, Arts, and Culture. Our first discussion with both aspirants was about the fight for Partido Barug's slot for Cebu City's North Congressional seat, which was said to be originally promised to Yap. Back then, there were unconfirmed reports that you were promised a second try at the same elective position with the same party that you were originally tied up with in 2019.
That's correct.
Were you expecting to be invited again by Partido Barug for this time?
It wasn't only an expectation because ongoing yung talks all throughout the past 3 years, they kept on telling me na I was going to be the one that was going to be fielded. So it was not just an expectation, it was a promise that they didn't keep.
So how were you informed that it was Niña Mabatid who was chosen instead of you?
They told me they needed her because of some things that they needed. I mean, I can't tell you the exact things that they told me, but because of her position right now, they needed her for one or more
several
reasons. Yeah, so that's why they had to give the
When was this, sir?
Position there.
When was this?
Just last year, just a few months ago, before the filing of the candidacy. Because even up to the time na mag-file of candidacy, the filing of candidacy, we were still talking. We were still, they told us to just, continue doing everything and all that. But at the last minute, we were not even given the courtesy of, or the respect to tell us that we weren't the one chosen.
So igo na lang mo nakakita nga ni file na og COC, sir?
Nakadungog lang mi, nga kuana. Well, kibaw mo, what they did was, they asked around. They got, they even had a survey. And then, nangayo pa sila sa mga kapitan, sa mga Milo heads and all that. I won by a mile. But even because of that, even from that, wa gihapon nila they didn't listen to what the people were saying. They still had to choose her because of one reason or another, which...
How did that make you feel, sir, when you first found out that it was Niña who was chosen by Partido Baru instead of you?
I was already expecting it. Here in politics, like they say, there are no permanent friends. And, we found that out. So we were already prepared for it, actually. So, dili na kayo sakit. Because kibawaan naman nato daan that they were going to do that.
So there were signs?
There were signs, of course. And she was already pushing her, forcing her way that she wanted to be the one to run.
So how did you join NUP, sir? What's the story behind that?
I met another congressman who was with NUP, Congressman Roland Valeriano. And he had been helping us because we have a TESDA training center in Manila. And he found out that it was owned by me and my wife. And he found out about what happened, so he asked me to join NUP, which I willingly did. And I have found that I have made the right choice.
Okay. But if not, sir, if that encounter did not happen, would you still have filed your COC as an independent candidate?
Well, I guess it's very difficult not to have a national party backing, So that would have changed things, maybe.
Okay.
First question is, how were you chosen by your party for this specific position? Unsa man ang ilang basehan? Ikaw ba ang ni-representar sa imong kaugalingon ngadto nga kani akong gusto nga posisyon or sila ang ni-assign nimo ani nga posisyon?
When Mayor Edgar Labella was still alive, he really told me nga, you will be my future congressman this coming election. And si Secretary Michael Dino said, that's what he said as well, nga I will be his candidate for Congress. But then, pagkaduol na sa election, pagkaduol na sa katong magpiliay na kung kinsa gimudagan, it was very tough, it was very challenging. We went through a lot of scrutiny kay there were two of us who were interested to run for Congress. So, they set a criteria nga unsaon may pagpili. So,
unsa man nga criteria,
one is survey, then second is competitiveness, and third is character, fourth is health, and then 5 is bailiwick. So, katong tanang criteria giipon tanan moto nga na-decidean gid sa party nga ako ang mahimong standard bearer for Congress.
Okay. But there were unconfirmed reports manggod back then, Cons Niña, nga si Richard Yap was promised by the same party this position, the same elective position for this coming elections. Did you hear about those reports back then?
I really do not know kung unsa ilang mga gipangsabutan before. But then, pag abot na sa time nga nagpurma nami sa partido, kabaw na gyud ko nga kanang usa ko sa ilahang gi-consider for Congress. Now, one reason probably sad nga nung wa gyud siya napili to be the standard bearer nga nahibaw-an sad namo nga iyahag yung main source of income is being an actor. he's working with GMA7 karon. Nya nangita biya gyud ang among party, especially Mayor Mike Rama, no, nga somebody who will really serve here kanang naa gyud dinhi. And he was even told nga pwede man kamudagan for councilor sa ako lang sa ang mag-congress, siya lang sa magkonsehal, pero nibalibad siya for the reason nga his job is in Manila.
Okay. But given those unconfirmed reports, Cons, wala ka nabalaka nga murag walay word of honor basin ang kaning party because ilabing gipromisan si Richard Yap, then wala di ay kay mas kusog ka sa survey.
Well, I believe in our leaders, no? They will not decide such a thing kung dili dapat or dili angayan. So, I don't think so nga kanang gisaaran yun siya. Siguro he's just one of the possible candidates.
The next question was on who they thought was the more challenging opponent. Between Cutie Dalmar and Niña Mabatid, who for you is the more challenging opponent?
Of course, it should be Cutie Delmar.
Nga naman, sir.
Because the father has been there for a long time, and the Delmar name is still synonymous with the position. So, hands down, it should be Cutie Delmar.
Between Richard Yap and Cutie Delmar, who do you think is the more challenging opponent?
I should say that it's Cutie Dalmar.
Nga naman, Cons?
Because she is the daughter of the late congressman.
Okay, so she is carrying the same popularity that her father once enjoyed.
Yes.
The next topic was on the recent feud between the two regarding the issue on Joshua Paulo Jensen, who sued Yap for compulsory recognition of paternity several weeks after the COC filing. Are you not questioning the timing, sir, of that case about this certain, his name is Joshua Paulo Jensen, who claims to be your illegitimate child, sir?
Yeah.
Do you think somebody was behind all this hullabaloo last year?
He actually did an interview, and he admitted that it was Niña Mabatid who was behind it, that she was the one supporting him.
Why do you think iyan yung nabuhat, sir? Is it because of the elections? Is it because of the katong feud ninyo sa pagpapili sa candidates?
Of course, it's all politically motivated. I have been in showbiz for the past 10 years. If that were true, he should have come out before. At the height of my, at the height of my career, at the height of the show, he should have come out. I was out in public for the past 10 years. He had no reason not to find me. He could just have sent a letter, or if he could have filed a case in Manila. Why in Cebu, of all places, when he is not even from here?
Wala ka na bother atong nahitabo, sir, nga it might affect your candidacy?
People will see the truth because I have not even seen him or talked to him or met him before in my life until this case came out. So, why should I be bothered? Because I know that there's nothing to be bothered about. My conscience is clear.
Just to clarify, kay Murag, naman to yung tinubagay on both your ends. Did you have anything to do with the revelation of this certain Joshua Paulo Jensen that Richard Yap was indeed his biological father?
Yeah, I should admit nga, niduol gid na iyang anak nako. And I cannot say no being the chairwoman of Women, Children, and Family Affairs, no? But
So sila ni dool nimo?
Sila ni dool na ako, but I'm not behind the case. Dili sad ako nag-provide og lawyer. And it's not even me nga who encouraged the child to file a case. Kay as a matter of fact, I brought this issue to the party katong okay pa si Richard Yap, pero he ignored this issue. So wa niya gitagag importansya. So niabot gid sa point nga ni-file na lang gid ang iyang anak o kaso against him, no, for paternity suit.
We then touched on the attacks fired against the two, Mabatid and her controversies, and Yap, according to his opponents, being just an actor. You being an actor in the spotlight for 10 years already, it could be used for you. Of course, everyone knows you, you're Richard Yap. But sometimes, your political opponents could also use it against you when they say nga, artista raman na siya, unsa man niyang nahibawan. So if you could introduce yourself to the Cebuanos, nga wala day sila na aware nga you are really a true-blooded Cebuano.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your Cebuano roots first?
Yeah. Well, that is something that they are doing, you know. They just say that artista lang na siya. But I'm a true-blooded Cebuano. I was born here, Chongho Hospital. I took up my kindergarten at St. Benedict's back when it was still there at Redemptorist Church, beside Redemptorist Church. And then I took up grade school and high school at Sacred Heart School for Boys when it was still at Mango Avenue. And then I took up 2 years of pre-med at Veles College. I took up medtech because I really wanted to be a doctor at first. But since my father didn't want me to pursue that, I transferred to De La Salle University and finished college there.
So that was how you started your showbiz career when you
No.
studied in La Salle?
I started my showbiz career very late. Just 10 years ago. So
Okay.
during that time, I was still. I worked for my father for a bit, and then I went to Manila to find other opportunities. But I met my wife here in Cebu.
So your wife is also Cebuana.
No, she's from Manila.
But what brought her here to Cebu?
She was assigned here before because of work.
Okay.
So I met her here, and then I went to Manila to work, but I was also assigned here. So I was here quite a lot. But of course, I don't tell the people that Richard Yap is here.
Yeah.
You've been very vocal about your rags to riches story. Nahibaw man sad gyud siguro ang kadaghanan kung unsa ka kapalaban as a woman. But ang kanisang imuhang pagkapalaban, nasa dyo'y mga instances when it has led you to several controversies. Daghan sad ka og nakontra because of your strong character. Are you not afraid that these certain several controversies that you faced in the past, katong breast chicken, katong waterfront nga issue, wala ka nahadlokon that your opponents will use this against you for this elections?
Well, katong waterfront issue, mo magalit yung nagpasikat na ako, no? Kay it happened when I was still a barangay captain and I landed number 2, no, as a city councilor. Ang kanang breast chicken, wa mo gyud koy labot ana sa tinuod lang, and the whole city council knows about that. Kay katong manggaling time nga mag-votation me nga about this issue. I was even calling my colleagues, no, nga, should I vote? Should we vote or not? What is this chicken all about? Yan ako nga, naday manok. Knowing ko nga, kabaw pa ko nga nay manok, na mo demand yun ko nga matagaan ko kay para mahatag na ko sa mga constituents. But the very reason nga my name was dragged nga just chicken, it was because of a certain former employee nga kanang iyalang ning gibuhatan og storya para maguba ko. But the truth was, nanghatag man gud kog livelihood during the pandemic. So ang mga tao sa barangays akong gipabaligya, gitagaan ako sila og avenue to do business. So sagol to, na karne, na ay manok, na chorizo, and other kanang food stuff, no, nga kanang pwede gud nila mahimong income on a daily basis. Nya ang katong muna niya nang namaligya og manok sila, but I was not the one, I'm not involved in the business. Ako
So,
lang sila
why was
gitagaan og supplier, and then sila ra po'y mo remit sa ilang sales dito kada end sa adlaw.
So unsay motive behind atong pag-drag sa imongan ato cons?
Wala lang good. Like, I terminated him for a big reason, no? And then, pagkahuman na with the influence sa other politicians, gisugo gina siya. In fact, he's very active campaigning right now against me. No, ato-ato siya mga barangays. Gigamit yun siya sa politika sad, no? But then, dismiss man ang case. Truth prevailed, no? Huwag ko ilabutan ng manok, bida ng manuka na.
For this one, it's a bit awkward to ask, but katong inyong video. Ni katong ni Attorney Mark nga nag-viral nga nagsayaw mo, it made also rounds on social media.
Kita rin ka? I'm just human, no? I like to dance. I love sex. I love to enjoy with friends, but that was a very intimate gathering.
Kisa may
There were only
nag-share at the
5
cons.
of us, but the one who shared is akong amiga nga gibayran sa BOPK.
Really?
Yeah, she admitted it to me anyway.
So, di na mo friends?
Dili na. Pero naghuwat na siya i-friend. Pero anyway, gibayran siya para ihatag to nga video. Para lang yun pakaawawan ko to humiliate me in public. Pero ang importante, dili ako ang nag-upload, no? And it was a private video.
Yeah. So it was a private gathering that which is not supposed to be shared online.
Oh, it was one of my kanang private moments good with my close friends.
Sige, when we return, Cons.
Pero masaya mo sa ka, di ba?
Of course!
Oh, di ba? Unsa na ito, kuwang pag ito. Kinana mo.
Both were given the chance to discuss what they thought about the leadership of the Del Mars. If there are things that you admire about the contributions of Raul Del Mar in Congress, would you be able to name such? And unsa sad ang pwedeng ma-improve nga wala kaayo niya natagaan o pagtagad?
You know, I've been going around and asking the people, what has your congressman done for you? I've always heard about his medical assistance, his burial assistance, and all that. Mainly, he is known for that. But I think what we could improve on, there's so many things that we could do. Infrastructure projects, healthcare, livelihood projects, which the people really need. You know, he's been helping a lot of these people, and they remember him for that. But help only comes if you get sick or if you die. I don't want to just help the dead or dying. I want to help people who need livelihood, people who need help now. Because a lot of the people who need help, they need it now because of the pandemic. There are no jobs. There are no a lot of companies have been shutting down. So a lot of these people need to get income because help only comes from the government when there's a fire, when there's a pandemic, when there's elections.
There is no need to fear if congressmen come and go because services will always be there. DSWD is the one providing all basic services of constituents who belong to the poorest of the poor and also who are victims of circumstance like pandemic, natural calamities, fire, any form of accidents, physical illness, and even for special people like person with disability. So sa tinuod lang, katong gi-enjoy nila nga benefits sa katong late nga congressman, gikan gyud to tanan sa DSWD. And ug kanang ilang gitawag nga nadawat nila karon nga tupad sa gikan sad na siya sa dole. So I'm sure nga I'm assuring the Cebuanos that if I sit in the House of Representatives, they will still enjoy the same benefits as long as naani nga mga government agencies. And wala may mawala gyud ani nga benefits no padayon man gyud tanan kung ako'y makalingkod. But I will fund additional kanang benefits.
Like unsaman.
Mo fund ko additional for hospitalization, for medicines, free wedding, libre nga abogado, free wheelchairs, no, crutches, walkers, free eyeglasses, and a lot more. Kay the Cebuanos deserve more. So bahala nagmugasto kog akong kaugalingon basta ang importante nga makahatag kog mas nindot pa nga serbisyo sa mga Cebuanos.
Hindi ka mahadlok mapobre ka sige kuot sa imong kaugalingong bulsa, Cons.
I don't mind. Di masad ko mapobre.
Sana all.
We asked both aspirants how they have been preparing for this role.
since the time that we ran in 2019, I have been studying quite a lot about what has been happening in Cebu, what has not happened, what has been done, what has not been done. Back then when we ran, there was so little that we knew about this. We were just taught by the partido to say something about, just say this so that you'll get the attention of the constituents, Just talk to them about their problems with water, their problems with garbage, baha, and all that.
So, ang standard script?
That's the standard script for everyone. But 3 years later, it's already 3 years later, nothing has been done to address all these problems. Ang problema sa bukid na way tubig hantod karon is still a problem.
Okay.
There are so many things that you can do. As a congressman, you can just build deep wells for all these people. Or there are sources of water nga naangad to, nga wa nila gi-develop. So these are the things that you can really address, no? But why hasn't it been done? So we have been going around asking the people, what are your problems? There are specific problems in each and every barangay. Not all barangays have the same problem. There are some barangays who have a problem with their drainage.
Yeah.
There are some barangays, there are no access to electricity. So we have to find out what each and every barangay has, what problems they have, before we can address all of them.
I am preparing and will be preparing more. But as of the moment, I'm concentrating on the campaign. But I know that if God willing, if I will become a congresswoman, I'll be doing a good job.
So,
especially that I'm surrounded with good people, good consultants, good lawyers. And I know that I have the full capacity to play the role of a representative in the House.
Kay murag level up na magudi nga position, Cons, no? It already entails creating bills for the country. Nag-research na ka kung unsay mga kinahanglan nimong duties as a
Yes.
congresswoman. Unsa man imuhang mga nasabtan nga kinahanglan nimong ipatuman if given the chance.
Sa ako yung na-discover nga the 4 major functions of a congresswoman is legislation. We have representing the people, performing oversight, helping constituents, and educating the public. Though the Constitution specifically grants Congress its most important power, the authority to make laws.
The next 10 minutes were dedicated to the bills both aspirants plan to file in Congress and their platform for Cebu City's North District. So what will you be prioritizing, sir? Given these kanang inyong pagsuroy-suroy, nahibawan na ninyo sa mga problema, if given the chance to serve as congressman of North District of Cebu City, asa man ani mong unahon?
There's so many things that need to be done, no? But a lot of them, ang problema nila healthcare, no? Healthcare because they have no access to hospitals. We only have 2 government hospitals, 3 actually, but one is a small hospital. The other one is only half finished after 3 terms. So we really need to build another hospital in the city or another one in the mountain barangays. We have a hospital which is called Guba Hospital, but it's more like a clinic actually. It's very small. We have to build a hospital for the people in the mountain barangays. Really make it a real hospital. Dili ingon nga half-baked na hospital nga wala sila, they don't have the equipment, they don't have the personnel.
I-refer hapon sa
yes.
Kuan, Soto or sa...
Yeah, and then they have to come down. Kanya, if it's an emergency, lisod kayo for them. No? A lot of them need medicine, access to medicine. That's why we want to work with pharmacies. We can fund the pharmacy so that they can just go there and get their medicine. We want to make things easier for the people. We also want to address the problems in the barangays. For the barangays that need the drainage, we give them the drainage. We don't give drainage projects to the other barangays who don't need it. I think there have been, now they're giving out drainage projects, even to the barangays that don't need it. So it's a waste of the people's money nga gipanghatag nila ang project sa mga barangay just to say that they have given them a project. You know, we want to give out livelihood to all these people because we believe that in order to uplift the lives of the people, kinghanglan tagaan nato sila panginabuhi, no? They cannot just be relying on the government all of the time. Since 2018, when I ran, we have started giving out livelihood projects sa women's sector. We've given them products so that they could sell it, and then these products, when they sell it, the money is theirs to keep, and then they will be the ones to roll the money para mudaghan ilang kwarta. And then they can just lend it out to the people who are members of their cooperative.
Asa ni nga mga areas, sir, sa Cebu City?
We gave to the barangays, but the ones who continued were Barangay Busay, Barangay Santo Niño, Cambinukot. The others, wa nila gipadayon, no? Because siguro kulang ang mentoring also. So we want to continue that. But we want to help them and give them financial advice also on how to run this. We want to be able to help the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So I have been working also with Congressman Alan Peter Cayetano in helping all these sari-sari store and karinderya owners because we want to help them and give them additional capital also, if as much as possible, so that they can sustain their sources of livelihood.
Okay. In terms of legislation, sir, what are these bills that you plan to file in Congress if given a chance to serve?
Well, there are so many bills that need to be filed also. One of our priority bills is healthcare also. I've been talking to a lot of doctors, and some of these doctors have told us that it's very hard to get organs from like kidney transplants and all that. It's very difficult. So we want to file a bill that everyone should be a donor. You know, unless you specifically state that you don't want to be. So this will give access to people who need transplants. Easier access. Dili ingon nga paliton pa nila nga mahal kayo.
Yeah.
Because especially those with kidney problems and all that, it's so hard to line up for that.
Okay.
So that is one of the priority bills that we want to file. But there are also other bills that we want to file, like increasing the salaries of our frontliners, especially our nurses, our doctors, because they are grossly in a disadvantageous state because they work so hard. Especially, we've seen it in this pandemic, that they have been, abused, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, and they are getting paid so little. So we want to increase the pay of all these people who really are, they really deserve it.
Both for public and private, sir?
Yes, both for public and private, because their salaries are so low. That is why we have a drain of all these healthcare personnel going abroad. But what will happen kung wa na'y mabilin diri sa atua?
By how much, sir, ang imuhang gi-intend nga increase?
We've been saying that ang uban, they're saying that they're only getting about 6,000 to 9,000, di ba? For all these nurses. It should
Especially
be
sa mga private.
Yes. It should be at least, the minimum should be at least 20,000. Minimum, But of course, we have to check if kaya sa mga hospitals also. But with the high cost of healthcare, I don't see why it's not possible.
Okay. How about in terms of, sir, other pressing issues in the city, like for example, traffic problem, pagbaha?
All these problems, it's been there for how many years, even when, and they haven't been able to address it because there is no planning within the city. We also plan to file a bill which will create the Metro Cebu Development Authority.
And the function of this?
And the function of that will be that all the cities in the province of Cebu will have to work together to make everything interconnecting, like drainage systems, traffic systems, you know, you build a lot of drainage, but it's not connected to any major,
Yes.
you know, where, you know, where the drainage should flow out. So, useless ang projects na of what they're doing or what they're building, because you just make it in one barangay, pero it flows nowhere. So the water will remain stagnant and remain there. So all of these should be interconnected. There should be a plan for the whole city, not only for the project that you want to make.
Yeah.
Diba? Like if you build a flyover, you should widen the roads also. Diba? Because the flyover takes up space, and when you land on the other side, if the traffic is still there, then what is the use of the flyover?
So dapat na feasibility studies.
There should be feasibility studies. There should be an urban planner who should be planning it. And Cebu has remained what it is since way back, 60s, 70s. The roads are still small and getting smaller also. The roads to the mountains, they've been building roads to the mountains, no? Pero what is a 2-lane road here becomes a 1-lane, 1.5 na lang when you reach the mountains. You know, all these things should be addressed.
Katong kaning wa jay kahumanan nga BRT, sir. Unsa man imuhang ikasugyot kabahin ana?
With the roads that we have, it's really impossible to make, you know, a specialized lane just for the BRT. Because if you take away one lane, what is left of for the private vehicles and for the other public vehicles? I think we should study that also. You know, maybe the LRT is a better proposition.
Okay.
Because these can be put overhead, but they say that will also take up space on the ground because of the, you know, of the beams that you're going to put there. So, you know, there should be other ways and means, building more roads, opening up more, you know. In other countries, they already build roads even when there are no structures there yet, there is nothing there yet. Here, it's the other way around. You see relocation sites wherein they're building houses already. There is not even a road going there.
I will only concentrate on these 3 important aspects for me that are what the Cebuanos really need with the current situation.
Sa manikon.
So first, I will create a Cebu City North District master plan through the assistance of National Economic Development Authority, DSWD, DOLE, and other government agencies in relation to my platform. So my first platform is basic services. And there are 2 bills that I wish to support, no, to give the Cebuanos something different under my leadership if given the chance. One is kani yung National Housing Development Bill. Okay, this will enable all Filipinos, regardless of social status, to live in decent homes where their families can lead meaningful lives. No, now this version of this measure have been filed both in the House and the Senate since 2019 pa, but they're still pending at the committee level. And this bill aims to provide funding for the Accelerate Government Housing Projects for Homeless Filipinos. So this is all about free housing. So nindot kay ni siya, Andrea, di ba? Para sa mga tao nga maka-avail sila. And second is the Rental Housing Subsidy Bill. Have you heard about that?
Not very familiar with it.
There are pending rental housing subsidy measures, no, in both the House and the Senate. So if the bill passed into law, informal sector families will receive a flat rate rental cash aid from the government, aiming to give them access to the formal housing market. So dako kay ni og tabang sa mga tao nga ilang sweldo igo lang iabang. So kana siya. And my second platform is economic. When we say economic, it includes employment, business, infrastructure, and others. Now, talking about employment, I want to coordinate with all the business entities in Cebu City, so I will know their financial situation and their company standing to assess possible job opportunities for the Cebuanos by doing a job matching, based on their manpower requirements and through the assistance of DOLE. Another thing is to create or support a bill regarding government-to-government hiring for better opportunities for Cebuanos who seek better life abroad. Since I myself is an owner of an agency who has a POA license, part of my PAS program, I've been doing this since nilingkod ko pagkakonsehal,
Okay.
is to send workers abroad under different skills with no placement fee at all. So,
So mo ning
Anan-
palapdan, if
yeah.
ever.
And under gihapon sa economic is infrastructure and infra support. Now, it is an ultimate dream of a city to solve traffic, garbage, and poor drainage. Diba dako mo yun kini siya nga problema, mo gini siya issue permi gyud, no? But wa gini masulbad, wa sa gyud nakasulbad ani. But these three major problems, yes, remained unsolved gini siya because it really needs collaborative efforts of neighboring cities and municipalities because we share the same road networks. Kasumpay ba niya ito ang dalan, di ba? So, we are in one island and not separated by a body of water. So, I wish to continue and pursue the creation of Mega Cebu Development Authority comprising the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, and Talisay, and adjacent municipalities to solve traffic, garbage, and drainage problems for a better infrastructure support and a sound economic development.
Who do you think should lead this, Cons? If imo ning ma-create ang Mega Cebu?
It will be the mayors, no? The mayors of these different cities. Kay ug sulbaron manggod nato ang traffic diri sa Cebu City. Sumpay matas Mandaue. So kung mo traffic ang Mandaue, moabot gyapon. It can never be solved kung dili ni nato buhaton ni nga kuan nga bill, no? So but this is still a pending bill. And kani nga bill from kuan ni siya Congressman Raul
Dalmar, yes.
Diba?
Yes, yes.
Iyaha man na. Pero, wa man gid niya natiwas.
So ganahan ka tiwason.
Ako, gini, dili lang kay tiwason, ato gyud ipa-implement gyud. Oh, diba?
So the father is someone nga you admire as his term as congressman?
I admire him, but kanang kuwang kay laki mo gud siya good.
Ano di kong lucky?
Dili kanang you know, I base it nga kanang siya may amahan sa North District, diba? Yeah, lahi biya mo pangga ang mama kay sa papa. Sa lahi gid ang babae mas emotional ta, mas kanang mas intuit kaysa lalaki. Ang lalaki, kung sa services niya, maura na. Dili sila muhuna-huna nga to elaborate or to expand, to explore. Muna akong understanding ha.
So ang EQ sa babae ang iyang strength.
Yeah,
Correct,
kay 30 years na good siya, pero kanang wagi na bago sa mga services ba. So, contented na siya nga, yun na.
Okay.
Anyway, last, ang third nga platform is health. Now, there is no other way to get the best health care than to fully implement the Republic Act 11223 here in Cebu City, known as the Universal Health Care. I'm sure
Yes.
you've heard about
Yes.
this bill. This is already a law. After this bill went to the Senate, it has become a law already. And this should be implemented here in Cebu as soon as possible.
So wala
Now,
pa tayo implementation.
wala
Wala pa
pa.
nila to na-feel.
Well, some people in Cebu, in the Cebu City government, say that they have adopted this already, but I totally disagree. I have not seen it from my own two eyes. So the beauty of this law is not only curative, but preventive in terms of health condition of the Cebuanos. Now, primary care facilities will be built around the cities that will provide regular checkups for early detection of any illness and makabaw gyud ang Cebuanos unsa gyud ilang health condition, maayo ba or dili. And in the facility, minor operations can be done without going to the big hospitals to decongest kay sige ug kapuno ang ato ang hospital, di ba? So grabe man gyud. But the best thing about the universal healthcare is mandatory government hospitals. It's mandatory for government hospitals to give away 90% of their bed capacities to the patients under zero balance billing. And it's also mandatory for private hospitals, kanya mo inindot, di ba? Private hospitals to give away 10% of the bed capacities to people who cannot afford under zero balance billing gihapon. And in short, hospitalization is
Will be free.
The landmark law expands access to health services by automatically enrolling all Cebuanos in PhilHealth's National Health Insurance Program.
So, mo ning imong i-promise sa mga
Yes,
Cebuanos
and it
nga ma-feel
ensures-
ni nato.
Yeah, and it ensures citizens to have access to comprehensive set of health services without financial hardships. No? In short, it's free healthcare for all.
All right. Question lang, Cons. You have very nice platforms for the city of Cebu, and of course, katong imong mga gipang mention nga mga priorities nimo, no? What if lang, just in case nga ang makadaog nga mayor is si Margot Osmeña, do you think na dili ka maglisod sa pagpatuman aning imuhang mga plano sa imuhang distrito sa North Cebu City if you would be dealing with mom? Kaya parehas mong, as you said, di ba, kanang strength sa usa ka leader ang iyang pagkababay. But would you see any...
Pero wala may mama nga mamili. No, dapat kung mama ka, di ka mamili. Dapat mama ka para sa tanan, regardless of your political affiliations, di ba?
But would you be ready to deal with her if she wins this election?
Well, actually, ang Congress is independent
Yes,
from the
yes.
executive,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
So, daghan kaayong pwede buhaton without asking the consent of the LGU. But mas nindot gyud nga kaalyado ang imuhang mayor.
Kay nay coordination.
So, nay coordination and more benefits ang mahatag nato sa mga Cebuanos. Kay kung kontra man gud ang mayor o ang congressman, ang maipit ang mga katawhan, ang masakripisyo ang mga katawhan. So, mas may gyud si Mayor Mike Mudaog.
The last segment was about their stand on bills that have always been subject to debate. So we are going to give you an issue, and please let us know if you're against it, if you're pro or you're anti.
Okay.
All right, sige. Let's start with same-sex marriage. Are you pro or anti?
I am not pro or I'm not anti. There are unions already for same sex, but marriage is a different thing. I think we should ask the church for that. You know, same sex unions.
Okay na
is
ka
okay
sa
with me.
same-sex
Yeah.
union?
Yes. So in order to be able to protect the both
LGBT.
parties, yeah.
Okay.
From a human rights perspective, broadening civil marriage to couples of the same sex demonstrates respect for the fundamental rights of equality and non-discrimination. But personally, I believe that love has no sexual preference.
So pro ka?
Yeah. In other countries, it has been accepted, di ba, to have a same-sex marriage. So I guess I say yes to civil union in respect to their rights as a citizen, but I say no to the sacrament of matrimony in respect to my religion as a Roman Catholic, and also in respect to other religious sectors such as Iglesia ni Cristo and others. But the problem is, our Constitution provides that a marriage is a union between a man and a woman.
Yes.
So I don't know if it can be amended. Otherwise, same-sex marriage will not be allowed in the Philippines. So good luck to this bill, because I am pro-LGBT, you know.
How about divorce bill, Cons? Are you in favor of this or you're against it?
Well, I am with the divorce bill kay di man gyud mo kalikayan nga nagyudi magkasinabot, no? And if we will not grant this, they will suffer for the rest of their lives. They deserve a second chance. So I agree
Yes.
with the divorce bill.
There is already legal, you know, annulment. There's already annulment, so I think that is enough.
Okay.
Because if you put up divorce and you just put it there, it's so easy to just separate from the person that you're married to. People will not make the effort already to fix their marriage. I know that there are marriages that are unfixable.
Yeah.
And that should be given, you know, what do you call that? The annulment should be made easier for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pero kung divorce, dili ka.
Not at this point.
Okay. Freedom of information bill, sir. Pro or anti?
Pro.
Why?
I think people should know what especially government officials are doing what they have, what they have done, this information should be made available to everyone because they are public figures.
Okay.
Yeah, I also am in favor with freedom of information bill. Kay kanang dapat mangyud, we should be well informed. We should be transparent. We should be honest about things, no? But with a certain limit lang siguro, which I'm sure nga included ani nga bill kung unsay limitations, diba?
How about on the renewal of ABS-CBN's franchise? Where do you stand on that?
Well, everyone deserves a second chance. Why not? No, luoy man sad. And I like ABS-CBN. No, I like their ilahang mga teleseries. No, nindot kay sila mohimog mga drama, nindot ilang mga shows, and daghan kaayong nawagtangan nga mga trabaho sa mga talented kaayo, no, nga mga artista, no. Tanawang uban nga artista ni sud na lag politika.
Cheswes.
Before they can do that, I think they have to fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed. All these issues that have been leveled against them. Of course, ABS-CBN has been an institution, and of course, we want them back up on the air. But whatever accusations or whatever things that they need to fix should be fixed before the franchise is given to them. But of course, we are not against giving them a franchise, of course.
All right. Anti-political dynasty.
Yes, I am for the anti-political dynasty.
Yes, I am in favor. Now, it is not only about giving others the chance to serve, but it is to correct the notion of people saying that politics has become a family business. This bill can be unfair to few politicians nga nagtarong sa ilahang trabaho, but mas daghan manggod ang corrupt politicians, and that is the sad reality, di ba? They have to be in power to steal money from the government. Pero kinsa ang nailad, di ba, kitang mga Pilipino? These politicians are so good at doing it nga hangtod karon, wa gyud kay ba ang mga tao nga kawatan di ay ilahang mga gipang suportahan nga public servants. But well, anyway, you don't have to hold a public office to serve the people if that is really the clear intention. But I will repeat, this bill can really be unfair for families with political dynasty who have served their constituents truthfully. But I am in favor.
Even if this might affect some of your running mates, cons.
Di man sana madayon nga bill. Kay the people in the Congress, gikan man sa mga political...
ma-defeat.
Oh, gikan sad sila og kanang political dynasty side nga pamilya.
Kani cons, gisugyot ni Sara Duterte, mandatory military service for adults. What do you think about that?
Yes, I agree with that because this will serve as a training, no? Especially karon nagkadaghan ang mga katalagman, calamities, disasters, no? So that we know how to react when emergency comes. And also to protect ourselves, no? And our family, no? So ganahan ko ana.
Okay.
I mean,
We had that before, no? The ROTC.
Yes, CAT, ROTC.
CAT, ROTC. I think that should be brought back also. Because, we don't have to do it the same way as Korea, wherein you have to devote 2 years of your life for that.
Yes.
But if that were part of the curriculum in college, I think that would be doable also. But we need that also because the youth now is very, in a way, kind of weak. They're so
Onion skinned.
Yeah, little things. They're so
I-cancel na dayon.
yeah.
Dali ra sila ma-offend.
Dali ma-offend, dali ma-depress, things come so easy for them now. So maybe a little bit of toughening will give them,
Okay. Publicizing the SALN of elected officials. What do you think about that?
Pro. Yeah, it should be. You should publicize this because there are a lot of people, a lot of government officials actually, who have grown rich in government, but they do not have their own businesses. They do not see where this income comes from.
Yeah.
I-public na bitaw, di ba?
Pero kanadjong to make it official, gid ba?
Well, as far as I know, everyone can look into the records man of our SALN, no? I was even surprised nga pag konsehal na ko, usual ato in newspaper man to ang mga SALN, no? Nya na wag tang man so nagkulba-kulbaan gali ko.
Ala, imong mga milyones.
Kinsay kinadak-an og SALN, pero well, okay ra sad ko nga dili i-disclose kay at least nasad may gamay nga privacy, no, nga dili kinahanglan makaibaw ang mga tao kung pila ang amuang income. Anyway, kung as far as DILG is concerned, amo man ang gi-declare nga to sa DILG, but not for public knowledge.
Okay. How about legalizing marijuana, Cons?
I say no to that.
No.
Because anything addicting is not good.
Even for medical purposes?
Yeah, but then it's prone to abuse, so dili na lang yun.
Medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana?
Yes.
Okay ka?
Medical marijuana, yes. As long as it benefits the people who need it.
Legalizing abortion, sir?
That is a very hard question, you know. But more on the against.
Lagi kayo na among good tong debate on what if they're rape victims.
It would be case-to-case basis siguro.
No way.
Allowing death
No way.
penalty.
No, because I believe in the sanctity of life, and besides, our justice system is anti-poor. It will only hurt the less fortunate people and save the millionaires.
We have to fix our judicial system first. Because if the judicial system can be bought, or if you can bribe yourself your way into a decision, we might be, we might be killing the wrong people.
Allowing 100% foreign ownership in the country.
I think that should be done.
Nga naman, sir.
Because there are so many other countries who have been doing that, and that is why investments flow into their countries. Because of our restrictions, because of our red tape, because of we are not business friendly, we have lost out on a lot of investments here in the Philippines. Why do you restrict them by not being able to own land or being able to? They can't bring that with them. That will still be a land in the Philippines, you know. I think we have to give them equal opportunity also, so that because whatever they build here, we will be the ones who will benefit.
I will not allow that.
Why?
Because a lot of foreigners will abuse that power. And kita gali mo adto ta sa ilahang lugar, di manggalita halos maka-open of business. It's difficult to open a business abroad.
Based on your
kayong
personal
hassle, based on my
experience.
personal experience. As a matter of fact, I'm the only Filipina that was granted an investor's visa in the Middle East, no? But then dili lalim akong kaagi dito. It
So-
was not easy to get that visa, no, business visa. Dili gid sa yun. So why give that same privilege to them? Yeah, ang mahitabo sad kanang mawani pod ang ato ang mga Filipino investors. So,
Next, Cons, is lowering the age of criminal liability, which is currently at 15 years old.
I want it to be the same as now.
Okay.
I think we cannot lower that anymore. I think that's a proper age. Below that, they would need more guidance, I think. I would rather we do the things like what they did in Singapore,
Like what, sir?
caning. For those below, who've been criminals, instead of putting them in jail, we should, impose something like that. I know that people would shout that it's against human rights and all that, but actually it's a form of discipline that will remain in their minds and might be able to convince them not to do it again.
Next question, sir. Yes or no? Do you think there were extrajudicial killings on President Duterte's war on drugs during his term?
I don't know if I can't say yes or no because I have no first-hand information. But from what I've seen, I'm sure there were some policemen who went over the edge, and on their own they might have been able. They did some of those things, but I can't really say yes or no.
Yes.
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 Do you think that we should start banning the substitution of candidates by withdrawal of their COCs?
Yes, para di na sad maabusaran, no? And to predict kung unsay lihok sa ato ang mga politicians, no? Kay wa mo gud ta kay baw kung unsay ilang mga motives gali in running. So better nga sa sugod pa lang imo na gyud ang giplano nga mudagan ka for a certain position because you want to serve.
Do you think we should start banning the substitution by withdrawal of candidates?
Yes.
Are you in favor of publicizing the medical records of candidates?
Yes.
Nga naman, sir.
Because we don't want to be electing officials who are drug dependents, who are in their last stages of their life. Because if you are a president, if you're running for a position, national position or whatever position it is, and your health is failing, and you just want to do it because you want to pass it on to your wife or kids, it is unfair for the other people who are running also for that position. And it is also a waste of people's money to be voting for someone who will not be there for the entire term.
No, because mamatay magiging ka, no? But then let's not deprive them of serving the public just because they naa sila certain illness.
Okay.
As long as they can walk, they can move around, and they still have the sound mind to think what is good for the Cebuanos or for the country, why not?
We also touched on the topic of their presidential choices. Sir, would you be willing to share with us who you're voting for President of the Philippines?
Well, I'm with the National Unity Party, and I was sworn into it by Mayor Isko Moreno.
Okay. So sa VP pod si Doc Willie Ong.
We are still open, but of course, since he's part of the party, we are also supporting him. But there are still we're still open to other candidates also.
For Cebu City, sir, will you be filling a name in the mayor and vice mayor nga balot nimo?
I would rather not answer that.
Secret na lang.
Ang inyong partido, murag nagkabuwag-buwag sa presidential and vice presidential choice. Si Mayor Rama, he's going for Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte. And then si kanang panaghiusa by Attorney Joey Daluz at tusad siya ni Isko. Just kung ikaw lang, if it were just you, who are you supporting as president and vice president?
Right now, actually, I'm still not decided.
Wala pa ka-decide?
Wala pa gid ko
Bisag sa vice
na-decide.
president?
Sa vice president, definitely I'm for Sara Duterte. But for presidency, wala pa. But ang ako lang gitan-aw among them, Bongbong Marcos is the most qualified, and daghan man gud usay maluoy na lang ko niya ba kay tungod nga sigihan
siya
i-bash niya, i-blame siya sa iyang papa. But they have to understand that the sin of the father is not the sin of the son. In the same manner that the accomplishments of the father is not the accomplishments of the daughter who aspired to take place of the position of the father.
Kinsa ka na imong gipadungog-dungog?
And for the last golden question, we asked, why you? Can you please explain to the voters of Cebu City's North District why they should choose you for their congressman?
Yes, in other cities in the Philippines, there have been a lot of families who have been there for so long, and these people have been changed already. In 2019, a lot of these families were deposed and new ones came in. when the newer ones came in, they were able to bring about so much change, so much development in the cities that they were in. So maybe it's time for Cebu to make the change also. You know, there is not just one family name that can run a city or, you know, bring change to the city. Because some of them, if they've been there for so long, they will just rely on their popularity to win the elections, but they will not work hard for it. The newer ones who are running now want to be able to bring their own trademark, their own legacy into the city. So that is what we want to do. Bring better services, bring better infrastructure, healthcare, livelihood projects, and all of these things. We want to do it, and we want to do it now. Because for too long, Cebu has remained stagnant in that sense. So this is what we want to do, and I hope that together, you know, we will be able to bring about this change.
Pahirit lang ang question, sir. If makadaog ka, sir, will you be retiring from showbiz or will you be juggling both your showbiz career and your term as congressman?
I think it will be very difficult for me to do anything full time in showbiz. Maybe guestings for let's say, you know, for a Sunday show or something like that. But definitely it will take up very little of my time. I will be devoting 100%, almost 100% of my time into this. Actually, I've already, you know, set aside showbiz since last year. After after I finished my show, I was already telling myself that this might be my last show also.
Okay. So you will be more visible here na gyud in Cebu, sir.
Yes.
Ka maglarga-larga.
Well, you know that Congress is in Manila, so you will have to be there half of the week also. But I will make sure, whether I'm here or not, that we will be able to do what we set out to do. You know, that all the services that we have promised will be done.
First, I never left during the pandemic. That Omicron, and I'm still here until now with all the challenges that the Cebuanos went through and are still going through. Wagid ko mutago, wagid ko mubiya. I have given justice already, no, to the votes that the Cebuano gave me, that I landed number 2 as councilor in the North District of Cebu City. So, hibaw ko nga I did my job well as a city councilor. Now, our late Congressman Delmar is already up there. Now, whatever he has done for the Cebuanos, I truly appreciate it. Akong gibuhat ang iyahang gibuhat bisag konsehal rako through my personal funded programs that have benefited thousands of Cebuanos. But I can only do more if I am in a higher position. So I'm appealing to the Cebuanos, just one chance. Usa lang gyud ka higayon, unsaon ninyo pagkahibaw nga napay mas nindot nga serbisyo kundi mo musuway og bag-o nga apelyido. And who knows, hatagan sad ko ninyo 30 years, perhaps additional 10 years, equals to 40 years in public service. So to the Cebuanos, just trust me. Remember, gikan kog pobre nga pamilya. I started my business with 10,000 pesos only. Pero tungod sa akong paningkamot, nidako akong negosyo, I was able to build 21 offices all over the Philippines that made me a multi-awarded businesswoman in the whole Philippines. And I was able to spread my wings abroad and was the only Filipina who was granted an investor's visa in the Middle East. And I was able to penetrate Asia as well, building offices all over the world. I am proud to say that my success is my success. It's not my father's success or anyone else. So kung napanindot na ako akong kinabuhi o napalambo na ako akong negosyo, walay rason nga di na ako mapanindot o mapalambo ang Norte Distrito sa siyudad sa Sugbo. Makatawa ko, but I should say this, nga maluwing taon mo na ako, kay napudpud na akong sapatos sa sige o pangampanya, kay wa gyud ko'y gisaligan nga amahan, wa apelyido. I am all by myself fighting for Congress. So sa ato untang ipakita sa syudad sa Subo nga bisan dili ko anak ug dakong politiko nga inyo gyud kong mapalingkod sa Kongreso. And lastly, ayaw gyud mo tuo sa tanang panaot against nako kay kung tinuod pa na nga dautan ko nga pagkataw, barug PDP laban under the banner of Mayor Mike Rama will not choose me to be the standard bearer for Congress kung di pa gyud ko maayo nga tao. So just remember that.
Are Cebu City's North District constituents ready for change, or are they comfortable with the familiar? Again, the choice is yours. This has been Andy for AnDiscoveries.